Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then my name's Antonia. Thank you so much for joining me. This is basically a video that I've been wanting to make for quite a while, because I think it's like a really important topic that we just don't really talk about, but I think it's something that affects us all and it's something that should be spoken about. So I just want to make this video, and that is like competition between young people, unhealthy competition between young people, especially between girls. And especially on social media. I think we've all experienced this at some point, like people being rude or people being nasty because they're jealous or because you have something that they want, and I think it all just comes down to competition between young people. We're all fighting to be the best, we all want to be the best that we can be, we all want to be the best looking, we all want to be the most intelligent and all that kind of stuff. And I think we have to remember that like envy is built into us naturally. It is a natural thing, it's a natural emotion for us to feel, and it is quite normal to feel envious of people, and that is not the problem. It's how we act on that. I've read somewhere that envy is built into us naturally to help us evaluate our social status and where we stand, like in a social setting. Like I said, it's more to do with how we act on that envy, what we make that envy into, that is where the problem lies. That is why we're most envious of the people that are similar to us, like friends, people who have the same hobbies as us, people that have the same interests, people with the same career ambitions, because we want to be like them, we want to be the best. It is competition. And competition is not always a bad thing. I think that's something that's important to remember as well. When it's helping us and when it's making us be a better person and when it's making us want to succeed, that's not a bad thing. It's when competition turns into hatred and jealousy that it becomes evil and nasty. So this is something that I have definitely experienced a lot of in my life. I went to an all-girls school, for those of you that don't know, which it's a weird experience because I think girls are worse for this. Like I think girls are just very catty in general. I think we as girls take on competition, like we take it a lot more seriously in that kind of sense, where we take it personally a lot more. So yeah, going to an all-girls school, I experienced a lot of competition growing up, and not even just competition for like academic things, because it was a very competitive place in an academic sense, which I don't think is a bad thing at all, because for me personally that makes me work harder. When I feel like I have a bit of competition, healthy competition, it makes me want to be better, it makes me want to work harder. And I think that happens for a lot of girls, or a lot of girls that went to our school, and it was a good thing. It made us work a lot harder, people ended up getting like better results and succeeding, and I think it was down to having that like heightened competition. However, putting that into a social setting, so when we weren't in classes and when we weren't in school, 9 times out of 10 turned into a negative, unhealthy competition. So everybody was competing for boys, which is the most stupid thing ever. People were competing against who had like the healthiest lunch, who was doing fad diets, who had the nicest underwear in PE, all that stuff like that everybody experiences at school. But with it being all girls, I felt like it was such a heightened situation. I was lucky in the sense that I never felt like I had to conform to that. Like I never felt like I had to be the best out of all these girls, you know. I felt like I was confident enough in myself to be able to just be me and just get on with it. And I think that's down to the fact that I never really had like, I was never really part of a group at school. I never really had like a friendship group if you like. However, a lot of people who were sort of in those groups, or were maybe excluded from those groups even more, it had such a negative effect on their mental health. And I think we don't realise how much that unhealthy competition can actually affect us negatively, to the point where it is unhealthy in a physical and mental sense. So yeah, in that kind of sense I was really lucky because I never felt like I had to conform to that. However, I know a lot of people who did, and they felt like they were constantly in competition for everything, which I think is it's hard, because as teenagers that is quite a natural thing. I think when you're growing up, you're learning so much about yourself, you're going through all these different kinds of emotions. I think like it does stem from insecurity, and you're probably at your most insecure as a teenager when you're going through those changes. I kind of get that it is like a natural instinct, but I feel like it's taken... These sirens do my head in. I'm saying I've lost my train of thought now because the siren ruined it for me. Anyway, I'll just get on to my next point. I think people think that like unhealthy competition is something that only happens in school, and I know a lot of people will think like once they leave school it's all done, it's all over, but that is not the case at all. I think it's actually worse as you get older. Now we have like social media and all that kind of stuff. It's like a completely different world, and it's constant. There's no escape from it. You know, when you're at school, you get that at school, you come home, and if you're in a happy and positive environment, you have an escapism. With social media, there's no escapism because it follows you everywhere. You are literally in that bubble. So long as you're on social media, you are constantly in that bubble. You're constantly putting yourself out there for people to respond negatively, which is not right. I don't agree with it in the slightest, but unfortunately that is the case. And I think having that as I grew up, going to an all-girls school and never really fitting into a friendship group, and like never really having that support from girls, I always thought that I just didn't get on with girls. I was just thought I was never going to have any girlfriends because I just never really got on with them. And I got on a lot better with boys because I felt like I didn't have that extra competition. And I am a competitive person in like a sort of academic, and maybe not academic, in like a goals sense. If I have a goal, I am a very motivated and competitive person, but in a healthy way. And I think that's the thing that's most important to remember. Competition is not bad if it's healthy competition. It's when it's unhealthy that it gets unhealthy. So yeah, I always said to myself that I just don't get on with girls. When people would ask me, I'd be like, no, I don't really have many friends because I just don't really get on with girls, which is stupid because I do have girlfriends. But it literally wasn't until I got to sixth form where I'd actually met a group of girls who I felt like I could actually be myself with, and I felt like they were supportive, and we all listened to each other, and we all took interest in each other's lives and each other's interests and what we had to say, and we would literally like sit around and we'd just talk about each other, and we all gave each other a chance to speak, and we all listened to each other. We all encouraged each other, and if anyone was ever feeling low, like we'd all be there to give them motivation and encouragement. And it wasn't until that point that I actually realised that girls can actually be supportive of each other. You can actually be in a healthy friendship group where you're not competing against each other and you are encouraging each other and supporting each other. Because I'd never experienced that before, and I didn't think that was possible, because the only experiences that I'd had with like friendship groups were where I felt like I was constantly being judged, and I felt like they were talking about me behind my back. I didn't think it was possible, like genuinely. And girls, if you're watching this video, then you all know who you are, so thank you for that. And I think that's really like shaped me for the future. Like it's given me such like a much more open mind now. So like going into new friendships, I don't have a guard up as much because I can get on with girls and I can have girlfriends and they can be supportive and lovely and they're not just all bitchy, because that's what I thought before. So yeah, like with that friendship group now, like we're all off doing different things. We never really see each other much anymore, but we still speak. And I still feel like if I had a problem and I needed to tell someone without feeling like I was going to be judged, then I literally feel like I could speak to them about anything. And I think it's so important to have that supportive base of friends or family to be able to give you the confidence to not feel that jealousy towards other people and to not feel like you're constantly in competition with them, because like it gives you the confidence in yourself. You know, you feel like you have people around you that support and encourage you, to be able to not see everyone as a threat, to not see everyone as like unhealthy competition. And yeah, like I was going back to before, like people think it's so much easier when you're out of school to not have that, because you know you can choose your own friends and you're not like thrown into a situation where you don't like people but you have to associate with them. But like I say, with the world of social media now, that's not the case at all. And I feel like everybody's in competition, and I'm so guilty of this as well, because I know sometimes scrolling down my feed, I look at someone and think, oh my god, they look amazing, and just scroll past the picture and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to bother, not going to give them a like. I think we're all guilty of like judging people that we don't know on social media because we just think that they're better than us. We see them as competition, but it is it's always a comparison, and it gets to the point where we feel like we can't celebrate other people because we're constantly comparing ourselves to them. And it's like, how can we celebrate someone if they're so much better than me? If I'm never going to be that good, how can I give someone that celebration? But that is the key. Like we have to turn that comparison into celebration, because that's the only way that we'll ever get forward. That's the only way that we'll ever feel good enough about ourselves to be able to not have that constant feeling of competition. But it's like, it's little things that can like help us to change that. Even something as stupid as like when you're scrolling through Instagram and you see a picture of a girl who looks amazing, giving them a like instead of just scrolling past and thinking, ugh. It's something that's so stupid. It's definitely a mental thing. Every single time that you're doing something to combat that comparison, you're on the step forward to not having that anymore, to not feeling that. I just think, like, we all love it, don't we, when like someone that we don't really know very well likes a picture or comments on something or tells you your hair looks great or they like your outfit. We all love that. We all love the compliment and the support from people, especially when we don't know them. We have to be that girl. And if you see someone in the street and you like their top, tell them you like their top. Or if you see someone on a night out and you think they look amazing, tell them they look amazing. It makes you feel so much better about yourself as well. Positivity creates positivity. It's like a smile. When you smile at someone, it's contagious, they smile back. If you pay someone a compliment, they're going to feel good about themselves. It's going to make them want to make someone else feel good about themselves as well. And it makes you feel so much better. It's hard. I know it's hard. We can't be positive all the time. And every so often you just have these negative thoughts. And that is normal. We have to remember that that is normal. But it's how we act on it. It takes so little effort, but it goes such a long way. There's drunk girls that we meet in the toilet on a night out. We need to be those girls in real life every day. Yeah, I feel like I've rambled on for absolutely ages about this, but I think it's something that's really important and I really wanted to speak about it. I enjoy making videos like this because I think it's important to talk and to share opinions, and if you have anything that you want to say, let me know, comment below. I really appreciate hearing other people's opinions. If you enjoy seeing videos like this, then let me know. If you have any ideas of any other videos like this that you want to see, tell me and I will happily make them for you because I love doing this. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye!